Can we start with Trump firing the BLS labor stats chief? Here's what happened. The economy added 73,000 non-farm jobs last month, well short of expectations. And Donald Trump feels that this person, who is a Biden appointee, has been, if not cooking the books, has been shading things in favor of Biden and shading things against Biden. For example, near the end of Biden's term, during the campaign, all of a sudden we had these substantially good jobs reports. And then when the election was over, the jobs reports were revised downward. Here's what Stephen Moore said, number 19.
Of Biden. So the fact that she was there, not only did she make a lot of mistakes during the Biden administration, but the suggestion is that she was playing politics right before the election.
I don't know. I can't really comment on that, whether she was playing politics. But what I can tell you is that she isn't a very good estimator of the jobs, because the numbers have been all over the place. And I am also told by my sources at BLS that they are going to, they do all these re-estimates over time, and there's a good sense that they may revise downward the jobs created by Biden by another 500,000 or so. So those are gigantic errors, and so I think she needed to be fired just because of incompetence. We had a good friend of mine, Bill Beach, was running the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and then he got fired by Biden. Yeah. And all of the reforms that were put in place to have a better procedure were eliminated under this woman. So it was time for her to go.
Did you hear that? The head of the Bureau of Labor Stats was fired by Biden. Did anybody complain about that? Here is Mr. Trump, number 4.
And there have been a lot of questions, and we fired her because we didn't believe the numbers today. Even though interest rates are too high, we have a terrible head of the Fed. He keeps interest rates too high. And I could understand that, but I don't believe those numbers. I think because we're doing so well, and we fired her. This is not something from just now. This was before the election, where she got, meaning Kamala, we thought it was Biden, but turned out being Kamala, where they got very, very strong numbers. I said, what's this all about? And they adjusted them, and then later on they adjust them, I guess, downward. But we don't want that. We want straight numbers. I was thinking this morning when I saw the numbers, I said, who makes these numbers anyway? I never gave it much thought other than before the election, but it didn't work out too well. For them, I won the election. So maybe people don't believe it or whatever. But I was saying to myself, I wonder who does this. And when I checked, I said, this person is very suspect to me.
Not too surprisingly, they're freaking out over on CNN and MSNBC. Just because he doesn't like the numbers, he fires a person that reported the numbers. How dare he? Harump, 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 harump. And then you find out that Biden fired the person who had the job before her, and nobody said squat. And then you find all these dramatic corrections and revisions. And speaking of CNN, here is Michael Schmerkanish reacting to a CNN poll saying that the majority of Democrats say that Trump should be given credit. Number 7.
Okay, Catherine, my producer, just asked me to predict the result, so I don't want to look at the screen. And I say I think people who vote will vehemently disagree with the poll question today. Let's see. Go ahead, show me the result. Whoa! Okay, well, there's no cheating. There's no cheating. 76, all right, well, that means you found me compelling. 76% agree with the premise. See, it's in the best poll. All right, I'm impressed. 3/4 say, yeah, you know what? It's in the Democrats' best interest if every once in a while they give Trump credit on something that he's done with which they agree.
Kevin Hassett is the chair of the Council of Economic Advisors. Here is what he said about the labor stats, number 13.
Does the administration have any evidence that it was rigged, as the president said? And will you be presenting that to the American public?
Well, the evidence is that there have been a bunch of revisions that could appear to partisans. Oh, I mean, the revisions are hard evidence. For example, there was a 818,000 revision making the Joe Biden job record a lot worse that came out after he withdrew from the presidential campaign. There have been a bunch of patterns that could make people wonder, and I think the most important thing for people to know is that it's the president's highest priority that the data be trusted and that people get to the bottom of why these revisions are so unreliable.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.